Hello, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. Today we're going to be testing out some new products from MAC. So I do have one of their new Strobe Beam liquid blushes. I have their new MAC Stack Elevated Mascara. I have one of their Dazzle Shadow eyeshadow sticks, and I also have a new lipstick shade from MAC. They did redo their Viva Glam lipstick line, and they have new shades as to what they used to have. So I did pick up one of those. If you saw my recent new makeup haul, that was like my birthday shopping trip haul, and I purchased all of these, and then I thought it would be a really good idea to film a review with these new MAC products. So let me zoom you in and we can get into it. Alright, so I have everything done except for eyeshadow, blush, and lips. So I feel like I am looking very, very blank. I did prep my eyelids with the Sigma eyeshadow base primer in the shade Persuade. I've been really, really loving this. The shade is actually very, very similar to Painterly from MAC. I do have that one. I probably should have used it for this video, but this is very, very similar, and I've been really enjoying it as an eyeshadow base. So I want to start with the Dazzle Shadow eyeshadow sticks. So they did release 8 shades of these Dazzle Shadow sticks, and these are supposed to have 12-hour wear, one swipe color payoff, non-creasing, non-smudging, waterproof, transfer resistant, all of the things, and they're all, of course, metallic shades. But one thing I did note when I went in store was that I swatched this one, and I also swatched the taupe pencil, and I felt like this one had so much more sparkle to it. I found the taupe pencil to be a little bit lackluster. So I don't know if that's the same for their whole line, where it kind of depends what shades you get. They did come out with some eyeshadow sticks at the holidays, and I tried one of those and I really didn't love it. I just found it to be very lackluster, not at all sparkly, and just very sheer. But I did pick up the shade Subliminal Spark because this was the prettiest one. Let me show you a quick swatch before we put this on the eyes. I have already played with this and I can confirm it's beautiful. So this is kind of like a pinky champagne. I feel like in some lights it looks a little more taupe, but it is really, really sparkly and beautiful. All right, so let's put this on the eyes. Like I mentioned, I only have the Sigma eyeshadow primer stick on, and that really just does a nice job canceling out any darkness on the lids, but it really doesn't add much pigment. Do you see how sparkly that is? Look at that. That is beautiful. That is gorgeous. That is so, so pretty. I hope that is coming off on camera the way it is in person, because that is a beautiful, beautiful shade. Just blending those edges. I do think it ends up being a little bit more sheer, so if you just put it on an unprepped lid, I think your skin is really going to show through. Putting it over top of that eyeshadow base like I did, I think that was the perfect move, but look how shiny and sparkly that is. I feel like that makes my lid look almost wet. And you could build sort of a base with some other matte shadow sticks. You could do powders and then go in with something like this just right in the center, but this is also just gorgeous for an everyday one and done if you wanted. That is so pretty. Now they actually did come out with eyeshadow sticks as part of their holiday collection, and my suspicion at that time was that they were doing so to kind of give us a bit of a sneak peek of these, and that turned out to be quite right. I'm really happy that it was. I am kind of wishing I would have swatched all of the other shades when I was in store. I don't really know why I didn't. I'd seen these online, so I knew exactly what shade I wanted, and I just grabbed it, but I really wish I would have swatched the other ones too, just so I had a sort of a frame of reference. Now, this does still feel a little bit tacky on the lids, and as someone with hooded eyes, I was kind of worried about that because product is naturally going to just crease and gather right in the crease of my eye. But like I mentioned, I wore this a couple of days ago, and although I noticed that same tackiness right away, it does go away and it did not crease on me. So that is one thing I definitely want to point out about this eyeshadow stick. I do think this is super beautiful. So now we're going to get into the new MAC Stack Elevated Mascara. Now I know this is an unpopular opinion. I do not like the original MAC Stack mascara. I mostly hate the wand. I just find it really too hard and pokey. I also find that that mascara flakes on me terribly. So the details on this one, this is supposed to give 165% lash lift, and this is also supposed to have a 91% naturally derived formula featuring argan oil. This is also supposed to be 36-hour wear. Do not wear your mascara for 36 hours, just don't. But it will last that long apparently. So this is what the wand of the new mascara looks like. So this is actually a fiber bristle wand, which I do appreciate. I also do appreciate this kind of shape that it has going on because it's really going to hug the lashes. And I am very, very curious about this. This is supposed to add a ton of volume. It's supposed to fan out the lashes, not have them be clumpy at all. We're gonna see. I'll be honest, I haven't found a MAC mascara that I like. I love MAC so much. I love so much of their products, but their mascaras, I've just never found a hit. Let's try this one out. And right now, I haven't been using a lash serum or anything like that, so my lashes are naturally looking a little bit sadder than usual. I am going to be opening a fresh tube of my City Beauty lash serum. I just wanted to give my eyes a bit of a break because I was trying to use the lash serum from Glamnetic, and I think my eyes hated that one, so I'm just giving my eyes a little bit of a break. But I desperately want to open a new tube because my lashes are a little more sparse than I like. So that is one eye with, one without. I do think it looks quite nice. Definitely had quite a bit of impact to my lashes, and I can already tell you I like it better than the original MAC stack. I don't know that this beats out my YSL Lash Clash or even the Charlotte Tilbury that I really didn't want to love but ended up really liking. I don't think it beats either of those two, but it is quite nice actually. I'm really surprised that I like this. I do love the wand so much better. I wasn't expecting to like it just because I haven't liked any of their mascaras before. Going into this eye, I think this is the eye that has the better lashes right now. And I also didn't make a huge mess on my lids, which is also a huge benefit. Normally that happens to me no matter what, but this didn't seem to give me an issue. I do like the shape of this wand. I think it does a really nice job of hugging all of the lashes. All right, I feel like that did do a really nice job actually. So now we have the mascara on both sides. This eye definitely has the better lashes right now. And I did make a little bit of a mess that I will clean up after that just dries down. But I actually really, really like how this looks. I will leave a pinned comment down below letting you know if this did flake or smudge on me throughout the day, because that will be the final test. But if it doesn't, this might be the first MAC mascara that I end up loving because I really do like this. It gives kind of a similar effect to my YSL Lash Clash. I still like that one better just for the amount of volume and length it gives, but this actually does do a really, really nice job with volume and length as well. I think it does a better job with length. It did give a nice amount of volume without being too intense. So far, really, really like this. Okay, the next product we need to talk about is the Strobe Beam Liquid Blush. I picked up the shade Nightlight, and this is a dirty cool mauve with pink pearl. This is described as an iridescent liquid blush with sheer buildable coverage and artist-developed shades to strobe, sculpt, shape, and underpaint for personalized payoff. So I was really debating on the shade Ice Gleam. I thought that looked beautiful, but it almost looked a little bit more highlightery to me. So I went with this one because it kind of looked like the shade that interested me the most. They do have 10 shades though, so there is definitely a range. I can also confirm I have already tried this because of course I couldn't wait, and I really do like it. So when you initially swatch this out, it kind of looks a little bit intense, kind of looks like almost like an intense plum. So naturally on my very fair skin, I was a little concerned, but this actually works very well. I do recommend putting this on the back of your hand and picking it up with your brush, but I will just show you how easily it does blend out even if I do apply directly to the face. And I just want to do 2 dots. So this isn't as pigmented as the Rare Beauty, so if you do get too much, you will be able to fix it. It's not quite as intense. This is a bit more of a sheer formula, but it does build very, very well. I noticed that right away because the first time I put it on, I was very, very light-handed with it, and I had to go in and build it up a little bit more. That looks so much better already, just having some color on my face, but look how pretty that shade is. See, in the swatch, it looked so intense, but it's so, so, so pretty. And while it does say it's a strobe, so it's supposed to be iridescent, it does give a glow, but it's not a super intense highlighty glow. It's nothing like the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wands or anything like that. It's just a really, really beautiful blush. So it does add a bit of a glow, but it's a flattering glow, if you know what I mean. Same thing on the other side. 2 dots was perfect for me, and this actually blended out so well. And I've just been using my BK Beauty 109 to blend this, and I love this brush for any of my cream and liquid products, but it's also perfect for this blush. I imagine you could blend this with your fingers as well if you prefer to do that. I do not like putting on my makeup with my fingers. The only thing I tolerate with my fingers really is my skincare and my shimmery eyeshadows. Otherwise, if you can't be applied with a brush, I will not use you. But if that is your preference, you could definitely do that. So that is what we are looking like. I actually have a little bit more on this side, so I'm just going to add a tiny bit more. But you could see how easily and quickly that blended, and it didn't cause me any problems. It was just so easy and beautiful. And the shade ends up working really, really well for me despite looking quite intense initially. Okay, for the lips, I'm not 100% sure it's going to work with this look in general, but I'm going to play with the Cool Spice liner, which I've had for a while now, but I do want to play with it anyway. And I also want to go in with Viva Planet from MAC. Viva Planet I love because it reminds me very much of Modesty from MAC, which has always been my absolute favorite shade. But Modesty is a cream formula. I think the new formula might be their satin formula, but Viva Planet is a true matte, which is gorgeous. And I have always preferred more of a matte lip just for that long wear. Alright, so that is the Cool Spice lip liner. And I mentioned in a recent video, I love Cool Spice, but if you have Iconic Nude from Charlotte Tilbury, they're pretty much the same shade. Let's put on Viva Planet. I love this shade so much. This is like a cool toned nude matte. Such a perfect lipstick shade. I love this shade so, so, so much. I just think it's so pretty. But this is the final look. So let me zoom you out and get into my final thoughts. Alright, so we already know the lipstick is an absolute favorite. I love my MAC lipsticks. They're still my absolute favorite formula. They're so fantastic. They're so long wearing. Their shade range, the longevity, the tones of their shades is where they get it right. And I will be a MAC lipstick girl until the day I die. I swear. So Viva Planet did not disappoint. And I do also love that the Viva Glam line, the proceeds do go to charity. So you can feel good about splurging on your lipsticks. That's what I tell myself. Cool Spice, I like a lot. I think it's a great liner. I don't think these liners are necessarily as dry as they used to be. So it's like they still have the longevity. They're still really, really solid liners, but they don't drag as much as they used to. Is that just me? I just find this one so much more pleasant than some of the other ones that I have. The Strobe Beam Liquid Blush. I also wasn't expecting to love this as much. I don't reach for a ton of liquid blushes and bronzers and things like that, but there are definitely times when I do like something like that. For me, I really love these types of products in the winter months because I do live in a cold climate. I also have very dry skin, so my skin absolutely loves when I give it some liquid products rather than more powders. And I do love how nice this looks on the skin. I love how seamless it is. It just melts right into everything else I have going on. It looks so flawless. It was so easy to blend out even when I applied it directly to my face, which is a big no-no for me typically, but this worked so well that way. I just think it looks so, so lovely, and the shade Nightlight is gorgeous. And again, that glow is nothing too intense and off-putting. It's not like a highlighter glow, it's just that really beautiful radiant skin glow. So I do think this looks super beautiful. The MAC Stack Elevated Mascara, I am so surprised. Like I mentioned, I have never liked a MAC mascara, whether it's because they flake or they smudge or they just don't do anything for my lashes. I have never ever liked a MAC mascara. this is a first for me. I really, really like this. I love the amount of volume it gave my lashes. I love how lengthening it is. I love that it really truly did do a really great job separating my lashes. I like that this is in a fiber bristle wand. I like the shape of the wand. So far, I'm really, really liking this mascara, and I will, of course, leave that pinned comment down below to let you know whether it's flaked or smudged throughout the day, because those are deal breakers for me. And finally, the eyeshadow stick. I love this. This is just so incredibly sparkly. I love it so much, and I think the shade is really pretty. It's definitely more of like a cool toned. It's almost like a pinky champagne, but with a taupe hint to it. It's a really, really interesting shade. I don't know how to describe it, but I do think it looks so beautiful. It is so sparkly. It looks so wet on the lids. It does still have a bit of a tack to it, but it is starting to dry down, so it's going to be a little bit less sticky. But even though it has been tacky for the last 10 minutes, you can see that it's not bunching or creasing in the socket of my eye, and as someone with hooded lids, that is a very big deal. I do wish it would dry down a little bit quicker, but even though it doesn't, it's still not creasing. I'm happy with that. And when I wore this the other day, this also didn't do anything weird, and it really truly did wear all day long. So I was very, very impressed. The only thing I'm really questioning is the shades. Some of them didn't seem as sparkly. This one is incredibly sparkly, but some of them, at least the taupe shade I swatched with it, seemed really lackluster to me. So if you're interested in purchasing these, if it's possible to go in store and swatch them, I would definitely do so. But Subliminal Spark is gorgeous. And that is it. That is my try on of some new MAC products. So far, I think this has been a really, really solid launch for MAC. I love that I have some new MAC products to play with, because they will probably always be a favorite brand of mine. So let me know down below if you've tried any of these. Were you curious about any of them? Are you picking any of them up? Let me know all of your thoughts. I love hearing from you guys so, so much. If you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go. I do upload new videos every single week. Thank you again so very much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!